Hello, this is Matthew, and I welcome you to another episode of Unrewarded Intelligence, the channel that offers you free information about expensive matters. This week, we have Bitcoin at $29,119, $1 is 3,434 sats, and Ethereum at $1,676.39. The US market was on the quieter side this week. The market saw some two-way flow in BTC, ETH, and USDT. ADA continues to garner retail interest. Looking ahead to next week's FOMC, the Asia market this week began with participants continuing to sell off already deflated L1s AVAX, and SOL, as the crypto fear and greed index sat firmly at extreme fear levels throughout the week. BTC Dominance level pushed up to 47%, a level last seen in October 2021, as people rotate out of altcoins. Stablecoin flow remained steady this week, as FX rates around the globe continue to fluctuate. The European market has been muted, both in crypto and stablecoins. The summer is in full swing and the majority of market participants are taking the time to enjoy time out of the house post-COVID. CPI inflation data out of the US came out a strong beat, 1.0% versus 0.7% expected. Stocks and crypto reacted negatively, and we are yet to see buyers step in with size in the lead up to the weekend. After last week's performance growth, network activity fell across the board this week. Precisely, active addresses dropped by -3%, new addresses by -1%, transaction count by -2.6%, and daily active supply by -11%. The only activity-related metric that rose was monthly active supply, which ticked by +4%. The network's market value rose for the second week in a row. BTC's market cap increased by +1% week over week to $578 billion. However, average transaction fees, a measurement of network demand, fell by -15.1% this week. After Bitcoin's hash rate grew by +1.2% last week, the metric spiked by +7.1% week over week to 227 exahash per second. However, miner market capitalization only increased by +0.2% to $132 billion, pacing behind the gain in market capitalization. Since prices grew more than miner market capitalization, miners may have decreased their holdings. Still, Bitcoin's miner outflow to miner revenue conflicts with this sentiment. The metric saw a -1.1% decrease, suggesting that miner optimism may be rising as they are holding more coins than they are offloading. Now let's start with news of the world. The Consumer Price Index rose 8.6% year-over-year in May, topping expectations of 8.2%. With inflation running hot, the question remains whether the Fed needs to raise rates by 75 basis points rather than the planned 50 basis points in next week's meeting. Jonathan Silver, founder and CEO of Affinity Solutions, commented, "The job market remains strong, which is putting money in people's pockets. However, price increases are still outpacing people's paychecks." MicroStrategy CEO, Michael Saylor, recently spoke at a virtual conference to reassure people of their strategy and comment on BTC's volatility. In May, Saylor tweeted that BTC's price would have to fall by -95% before the company would need to take action. Saylor commented on the short-term volatility, "If you're not planning to hold it for 4 years, you're not really an investor at all, you're a trader. And my advice for traders is don't trade it, invest in it." The Nasdaq-listed firm holds approximately 130,000 bitcoins as part of the company's corporate treasury strategy. Deloitte and PayPal conducted a study that surveyed 2,000 senior executives at U.S. retail organizations on their appetite for accepting cryptocurrencies and central bank digital currencies as forms of payment. 85% of respondents gave a high to very high priority to enabling cryptocurrency payments. 75% of respondents plan to accept crypto or stablecoin payments in the next 2 years. Half of the large retailers with revenues over $500 million have invested over $1 million to integrate digital currency infrastructure into their business. Since Bitcoin's price peaked in the last quarter of 2021, the number of new Bitcoin ATM installations worldwide has steadily declined. According to Coin ATM Radar, Bitcoin ATM installations have fallen by -90% since December 2021 to a low of 202 worldwide installs in May. Yet, companies have installed 871 new Bitcoin ATMs within the first few days of June. The slowdown of BATM installations results from market saturation and the coronavirus pandemic restrictions that have limited store availability to the public. Octagon Networks, a global cybersecurity network, announced via a tweet that they had converted their entire balance sheet into Bitcoin. They will also accept Bitcoin payments at a 50% discount. Octagon Networks pays tribute to MicroStrategy for motivation to take on this new corporate treasury strategy. The Security and Exchange Commission's deadline to approve or deny the application from Grayscale Investments to convert GBTC to an exchange-traded fund is July 6. Ahead of the SEC decision, Grayscale has hired former U.S. Solicitor General Donald Verrilli Jr. as a senior legal strategist. Grayscale described Verrilli as one of the nation's more experienced attorneys involved in more than 50 cases before the U.S. Supreme Court. Last week's bill putting a 2-year moratorium on Bitcoin mining powered by carbon-based energy sources in New York is waiting to be signed into effect or vetoed by the state's governor. Blockware Solutions released a report that predicts Bitcoin adoption based on prior technology adoption curves and Bitcoin's growth. Using a metric called cumulative sum of net entities growth and Bitcoin's predicted CAGR of 60%, we forecast that global Bitcoin adoption will break past 10% in the year 2030. The report explains, with Bitcoin direct financially incentivized adoption creates a game theory in which everyone's best response is to adopt Bitcoin. The report notes, unlike other technologies, Bitcoin's incentives would put Bitcoin on track to reach saturation much quicker. Though Kenya and the Central African Republic have welcomed Bitcoin mining and crypto companies in general, not all African countries are as open to crypto, as evidenced by the Ethiopian Central Bank's recent announcement that business transactions using BTC are illegal. Jay-Z and Jack Dorsey launched a Bitcoin Academy in a public housing complex. NASDAQ-listed Bitcoin miner Bitfarms mined a total of 431 Bitcoins valued at $16.6 million and deposited 429 Bitcoins into custody, 99%, in May. The miner now holds 6,075 BTC, currently valued at over $192.5 million. While ETF index BITO and XBTF saw AUM rise by plus 4.5% and plus 4.8%, respectively week over week, BTF, minus 0.3%, and BITS, minus 5.1%, saw a drop in AUM. All US-based Bitcoin futures ETFs saw trading volume fall week over week, except BITS, which saw volumes rise by over plus 257%. BTF volume fell the most at minus 72.1%, followed by XBTF, minus 57.4%, and BITO, minus 53.6%. While BITO is the only ETF within the cohort trading at par with its NAV, XBTF is the only ETF trading at a slight discount of 0.07%. BITS and BTF are trading at a plus 0.2% and plus 0.09% premium to NAV, respectively. Meanwhile, in the decentralized finance universe and NFTs, luxury brand Gucci opened a Gucci Town in Roblox. It's designed as a place for gamers to relax, play, and buy Gucci's virtual fashion accessories. Gamers can partake in immersive experiences, including video games and a photo studio. Mastercard enabled NFT commerce by working with Immutable X, Candy Digital, The Sandbox, Mintable, Spring, Nifty Gateway, and MoonPay. Users will be able to use their Mastercard cards to purchase NFTs on a marketplace of their choice, without buying crypto first. Mastercard reportedly has around 2.9 billion cards worldwide. On June 8, Ethereum's Robson testnet successfully transitioned from proof of work to proof of stake. However, it will take several weeks for developers to ensure no longer-term issues arise. This simulated event is in preparation for Ethereum's mainnet merge, expecting to complete in August. This is all for today. The text version is in the description. Thank you for supporting our channel. Use this information wisely, stay sharp and illuminated. If you enjoy this session, please support our channel by clicking like and subscribe, and we will keep you updated with the news.